Psalm 69 is another long psalm like 68, but unlike 68, it doesn't have the same kind of victorious note of triumph coming through it. It seems a little bit more downcast. It's a lament, and it's a lament written by someone who is suffering because of his dedication to God and to God's work on earth, which at that time, of course, would be the temple. So his dedication to God is leading to all sorts of opposition from others, including his own family, and so he's crying out to God for deliverance in the midst of his suffering. Okay, this is a psalm that gets quoted in the New Testament. So as you read it, you may recognize various verses. We're just going to jump in and look at one little part of it. It gives us perhaps the most famous quote, and we can see the quote in its original context. So starting at verse 7, he says, "For it is for your sake that I have borne reproach, that dishonor has covered my face. I have become a stranger to my brothers, an alien to my mother's sons. For zeal for your house has consumed me." Sound familiar? "And the reproaches of those who reproach you have fallen on me." So this line here, John 2:17, "Zeal for your house has consumed me. And the reproaches of those who reproach you have fallen on me." That is quoted in Romans 15, verse 3. It's really this John 2 quote that is most familiar, I suspect, to us, as Jesus cleansed the temple in John 2 at the beginning of his ministry. And then this verse is quoted talking about his zeal literally being demonstrated as he drives out the money changers and so on. You can take a look at John 2 to see that. In the original context, it's zeal for the house of God that has consumed the writer of the psalm, not because he's done a temple cleansing. That's Jesus fulfilling it to the max. This is a description of dedication and focus on the things of God. But look at the suffering he's going through. "When I wept and humbled my soul with fasting, it became my reproach. When I made sackcloth my clothing, I became a byword to them. I am the talk of those who sit in the gate and the drunkards who make songs about me." It's a very negative psalm, isn't it? It feels very heavy to read that kind of lament. But notice the upbeats, notice the encouragements. We can learn from those. "But as for me, my prayer is to you, O Lord. At an acceptable time, O God, in the abundance of your steadfast love, answer me in your saving faithfulness." The steadfast love and the faithfulness of God again coming through. He's saying, okay, I'm suffering, I'm struggling, but I'm going to keep praying. I'm going to keep trusting. And I know that in the right time, God's steadfast love and God's faithfulness will come through for me. It's a good example for us, isn't it? In the midst of suffering, keep praying, keep trusting. God's character does not change. Deliver me from sinking in the mire. Let me be delivered from my enemies and from the deep waters. Let not the flood sweep over me, or the deep swallow me up, or the pit close its mouth over me. Answer me, O Lord, for your steadfast love is good. According to your abundant mercy, turn to me. Hide not your face from your servant, for I am in distress. Make haste to answer me. I'm just going to kind of stop there because we could keep going. The whole psalm reads like this, but I'd encourage you to read the whole thing. I think it's something like 36 verses. Read the whole thing and you'll recognize other verses coming through. You'll maybe spot some and think, oh, that's from the Gospels or that's from the book of Acts. That's great. More importantly, let this Psalm's lament stir your heart. That no matter what you're going through or what you will go through, you can keep trusting God. Even when it doesn't seem like he's going to answer, just keep asking. Answer me, Lord, for your steadfast love is good. In his time, his steadfast love and faithfulness will come through for his own. And so that's Psalm 69. Read it, see what benefit you can find, and be sure to share it with others as well. See you next time.